Hello there, fellow grognards. Al here. Thought I'd put my spin on this, do I want to say scandal, that's rocking the Warhammer 40,000 universe, in as much as people like Auspex have commented on it, Liam has said some stuff about it, and these are guys that are normally very pro 40k, pro Warhammer. So I thought I'd have my say and have a look at it. So the item of contention is this article, which first of all, Fulgrim versus the world. This is a galaxy-spanning IP. But yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, whatever. You've chosen that because it sounds cool. I'm convinced that most of the people in the Warhammer community don't really play Warhammer or have much to do with Warhammer. They're just blog marketing writers. I used to write much better copy than this, put it that way. So yeah, Fulgrim versus the world. How good is the Phoenician on the tabletop? Because apparently he's not that good. Now, I don't play 40k 10th edition because I think it's crap. But apparently Fulgrim is just a little bit weak. Nobody's really thinking that he fits into any lists or anything like that they've got. Yeah, he's just not cutting the mustard apparently. And I've got to admit, I watched a tabletop tactics video, which if you can get past their overbearing personalities, let's just say,
calm down a bit. You have to calm down a bit. And
it was actually a really good little video. It was very cinematic and atmospheric, really cool story behind it. I really enjoyed the battle report. It's just, I wish they'd shut up. I kind of prefer Play-On's sort of sports commentary with JT. But it was very cool battle report. But Fulgrim was crap. He got backhanded by Guilliman with the Hand of Dominion into oblivion. I mean, yeah, he took Guilliman with him when he exploded. Spoilers. But yeah, I mean, it was a Demon Prince with some enhancements that was doing all the damage, far outclassing the Primarch. So yeah, I mean, I would say check that out. It's pretty cool. Obviously, the word has got around that Fulgrim's not that great, so GW damage control has kicked in. Let's have a look at it. So we've got the Demon Primarch of the Emperor's Children is up to his old tricks, but we've heard some corpse-worshipping Imperial sorts whispering that Fulgrim's best years are behind him. He's not that scary, they cry. He's not even meta. Apparently he isn't. Absolute tosh. So yeah, they go on from here, and it's going to be him taking up those sort of things. But the thing is, GW are, let's just say, obfuscating the truth. No, you know what, let's just say they're flat out lying. Let's just say they're flat out lying, and it ain't the first time. So, Avatar Kane out for a test run, blah, 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 blah. Can Fulgrim take down a Titan? And they say that he can do it in one turn. That's 40 wounds worth for Titan. Auspex Tactics has done all the maths on this. Apparently Fulgrim would literally have to be perfect. Every single roll would have to be perfect. He'd have to hit with everything, wound with everything, get maximum wounds with everything. The Titan would have to fail every single save, including its 5+ invulnerables. And he can technically knock a Titan down in one turn, but it's like a 0.1% chance. So he can drop a Titan in a single, albeit lucky. No. 0.1 is not lucky. It's, statistically borderline impossible.
That would be inconceivable. 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 Inconceivable!
But no, they're just saying, yeah, he's a Titan killer. He's not a Titan killer. That's a lie. A lie. Second, knock out a Primarch. Rubuta Guilliman. Yeah, I mean, Fulgrim gets fights first. He can put Guilliman down in one hit. In this battle report, he did not. And then the Lion, I would imagine the Lion would win that, to be honest, because he's got a better fight profile. But apparently he gets the Lion as well. So, Fulgrim's just perfect. The best! Then he does 50... Was it 50? 50 Guardsmen. I mean, yeah, makes sense. I don't see how he can take him down that... I mean, you should be able to bog him down, because isn't there a meme that you can tie up Angron for a whole game with like 120 Guardsmen or something stupid like that? Because that's kind of how the game works, and it's a bit dumb. So you can just keep him tied down in cannon fodder. So, whatever. Then apparently he kills 23 Intercessors. Not quite sure how. He's got 8 attacks in total. I know he can do sustain, but even so, you're looking at like maximum. And then Mortarion, and they seem to forget that Mortarion has a aura that negates any -1s, so they fucked that up as well. Because, Warhammer community are kind of idiots. This is nothing but a fluff piece to sell Fulgrim, and at the end they even say, buy Fulgrim! And people go buy him regardless, because he's a really nice model. Although, in my opinion, not quite as nice as the resin one. My point, just to add something new to this that's not been said by Liam or Aspas Tactics, is that, of course, GW are lying. They always lie. Have we forgotten Cursed City? Yes, this is a mainline product, and then when they find out it isn't, they just go and delete it. They don't put a retraction up. They just delete it like it never happened. No, we never said that. No. All these expansions that were due to come out for it, no, we didn't take those and just release them as part of the Soulblight range. And then bring the expansions out later, minus the models, charging you loads extra. No. GW doesn't lie. You can trust GW. You can't trust GW. They're not your friend. There might be some people there that are vested in the hobby, but the higher ups, the people that make the decisions, the people that make the marketing decisions, all that kind of stuff, they give a crap about you. They give a crap about the hobby. They give a crap about one thing: profit. Because they're a shareholder company. They're beholden to shareholders. And especially the majority shareholders. Like BlackRock. They're interested in paying out dividends. And to do that, they have to make profit. You cannot trust Games Workshop. And that's fine. If you want to buy their stuff, I still buy their stuff. But I don't trust Games Workshop. Hell no. Back in the day, in the days when I got into the hobby, in the old White Dwarf days, back when it was a bit more irreverent and a little bit less polished and corporate, let's say, the days of Paul Sawyer editing White Dwarf. And I would like to say, rest in peace, Paul Sawyer, who passed just about a week ago, I think it was. I think I was in Corfu at the time. There was a totally different feel to the magazine back in those days. It kind of felt like it was written by fellow hobbyists. It felt like people who were genuinely absorbed into the hobby, making articles and making content about the hobby that they loved. It wasn't totally sort of like, it wasn't, even back then, it was quite obvious it was still a company that was, making products and wanting to sell those products. But it wasn't quite so on the nose as it tends to be these days, especially with these Warhammer community articles. And we need to remember the Warhammer community didn't exist. I'm getting old now. 7 years ago, there was a blackout period where GW did no social media at all. And it was only with the rise of social media and influencers and all that kind of stuff that GW came back in and made this whole Warhammer community. We're your friend. Here's your community. Here's all these painters that work. It's all advertising. It's all advertising. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. While there might be a few individuals within the company who are genuinely invested in making these changes and invested in what they're doing, the corporate strategy as overall is just that. It's a corporate strategy. They don't give a crap about the hobby. They give a crap about money. Company making money, getting bigger and bigger, and the hobby expanding and becoming all-encompassing, because then that way you make all the money. And this is the point. It's a marked change from how it was back in the day when I first got into the hobby. Even when I worked for the company the first couple of times, there was a notably different thing. And yeah, your targets were to sell the intro games and stuff like that. Obviously, you still had targets, but you were marked on things like intro games because box sets, core box sets, because they would be the things that got the people into the hobby. They were interested in having people long term. These days, I don't think they are interested in having people long term. I think they just want that churn. They just want that kids get into it, buy all the stuff, that they stay into it. Oh, we don't care. For the people, for the whales that we need to pump, we've got the competitive scene, who will just go and buy the new army that's the best army because they want to win. And then we'll just nerf it 5 weeks later anyway. Like Fulgrim, if he was too powerful now, he'd be nerfed. He's not powerful enough. He'll probably get a buff. And this is the last thing that I want to say when it comes to trusting Games Workshop. I cannot trust Games Workshop to make any changes to the game for the sake of narrative, for the sake of generally having a better game. Because all they care about is money and the competitive scene. If it's not selling enough, we will make it better. If it's being played too often, we will make it worse, so that all the people who've bought that already and are using it will buy something else. Why do you think there's Tenatil and Tough Rough Riders in the new Imperial Guard Combat Patrol? It's not for the sake of the game. It's because they haven't sold any Smeggling Attendant but Rough Riders because they're not viable in the game and they're too expensive. Same as the Zangor Combat Patrol for Zinch before that, It's all very, very transparent. And as I said, you can't trust GW. Or maybe I'm just old and grumpy. Maybe I'm red pilled or whatever the hell they call it these days. Generally, guys, you can't trust Games Workshop. They're a company. They're going to do what's in the interest of the company and nothing more. And this is nothing but a propaganda piece just to try and shift some more Fulgrims. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. As I said, you can't trust them. They're a company. They're beholden to people higher than you. And all they care about is profit. And as long as they're making profit, the powers that be will be happy. So don't be surprised by articles like this. I'm happy to see they got called out on it by people like Aspects and Liam and stuff like that. And I do think that the Warhammer community needs to step up their game, because a lot of their articles do just come across as adverts, and very, very transparent adverts at that. But as always, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm getting together with Matt tonight to record a new episode of Chebs, and I've got other stuff in the pipeline that I'll be getting to you soon now that I'm after this horrific virus that I got. So I will see you later. Bye.